Dear friends, this is the third continuous video of the second continuous video of the helical gear analysis of design of the helical gear. In first video, I explained how the force acts on the in the first what is the module, what is the normal pressure angle, pressure transverse pressure angle are discussed in the first video. In the second video, that is in this video, force analysis will be discussed. In the force analysis, similarly force analyzed as discussed in the spur gear, but there is some difference between this and that analysis of the spur gear. Here P is the resultant force acting on the tooth of a helical gear is resolved into PR, PT and PA, where PT is the tangential, PR is the radial and PA is the axial component of the force. So this one is the shown in the figure. This is the force P which act along the pressure angle. Pressure angle makes angle alpha n with this line. This is the psi helix angle, and this one is the PR, this one is the PT, and this one is the PA. So this one is the psi, the helix angle. So P can be resolved into P is PR. From this figure, there are two diagrams is shown in this separate diagram. First one is this triangle is shown where the ABC, where this is the P and this one is the PR. Alpha n is the normal pressure angle. So you can get PR is equal to P sin alpha. In this this triangle is shown in this plane, in this plane where the this one is the PA, this one is the PR, and psi is the angle, helix angle. So now it is now you know the triangle property of triangle. You can explain PR is equal to P sin alpha, BC is equal to, BC is the P cos alpha n, and PA is equal to PA is the BC sin phi, and BC already BC is obtained. BC is the P cos alpha n into so BC is equal to P cos alpha n. So PA is equal to P cos alpha n into sin psi. PT is equal to P cos alpha n cos psi. And when PA is equal to also PA is expressed as the PA is equal to PT sin PT tan psi, and PR by when divide the PR PR and from this two relations you can get the PA is equal to PA relation between PR and PT. PR is equal to PT tan alpha n cos psi. So PT is obtained from this relation. You know this relation PT to MT by D, where MT is the transmitted torque, D is the pitch circle diameter, and MT is also expressed in this way. So PT, you can find the PT, and when you know the PT, you can get the PR is equal to PT tan alpha n by cos psi, and PA is equal to PT tan psi. So this is the force component. Now what is the direction of this component? So first directions is explained in this way. The following information is required in order to decide the direction of the three components, First, which is the driving element, which is the driven element. First information in the pinion rotating in the clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. What is the head of the helix? It is the right-handed or left-handed. If you know this information, you can get the direction of the component of all the force. First start tangential component. The direction of tangential component for a driving gear is opposite to direction of rotation, as discussed in the spur gear. The direction of tangential component of the driven gear is same as the direction of rotation. Radial component, the direction radial component on pinion act toward the center of the pinion. Radial component on the gear act toward the center of the gear. Thrust component is the following guideline can be used to determine thrust components. Select the driving gear from the pair and use the right hand thumb rule and left hand for the left hand helix. Right hand for right hand, left hand for the left hand helix. Keep the finger in the direction of rotations of the gear and the thumb will indicate the direction of thrust component of the driving gear. The direction of thrust component of the driven gear will be opposite to that of driving gear. From this example, you can understand clearly a pair of a parallel helical gear as shown in the figure. A 5 kilowatt power is at the 720 rpm supplied to pinion A through its shaft. Pinion A through its shaft, power is transmitted to pinion through the shaft. The normal module is 5 mm. The normal pressure angle is 20 degree. The pinion has right-handed teeth, which is shown in the figure. The helix angle is 30 degree. The pinion rotates in the clockwise direction. When seen from the left of the page, determine the component of the force, tooth force. So here given power 5 kilowatt, N A is equal to 720 rpm, Z at 20, ZB 30, Mn is equal to 5, psi is equal to 30, and alpha n is equal to 20 degree. So MT by using equation MT, this you will get the MT dA, and PT is this one. So PT and PA, you can find the PA and PR from the relations. Now direction of the force already explained in the theory. It is the right-handed. So right-handed, this one is the PT acts in the opposite direction of the motion of the driving gear. So PT upward in this direction, PR is towards the center, and PA direction of this is the right-handed. So put the fingers in the right-handed right hand in this way. So thumb direction of thumb is in this direction. So PA is in this direction. On the gear, all the three direction of three component becomes opposite. So PT in this direction, PR in this direction, and PA in this direction. So this is the direction. So you can solve more question problem as given in the books from the Bhandari books. You can refer these books. Now next topic is the beam strength of helical gears. It is same as the similar analysis is done as compared to the spur gear. Here Mn is the pitch circle diameter of the gear is D dash, number of teeth Z dash, and in order to determine the beam strength of the helical gear considered to be equivalent to formative spur gear, which is discussed in previous section. The formative gear is imaginary spur gear in the plane perpendicular to tooth element. The pitch circle diameter of gear is the D dash. The number of teeth is Z dash and module Mn. So from spur gear, it is same as spur gear beam strength M B sigma By. So this is the it is considered a spur gear in this plane. So in this plane, the SB normal, suppose S beam strength in normal direction is denoted by SBN. This is the B, so this becomes the B by cos psi. This is the helix angle psi. So it has the SBN act in this direction, and SB act in this direction. So it is shown this one. Now this is the psi. So SB is SB is equal to SBN, beam strength perpendicular to the tooth element. Here M is equal to Mn, that is the normal module, and B is equal to B by cos psi, already shown in the figure. So SBN, substitute the values. SBN is equal to Mn B sigma B y, and B is the B by cos psi. So this one is the SB here. SB is equal to SB n cos psi. So SB n cos psi. So SB is equal to, this one is the Mn B sigma By. So this equation is known as the Lewis equations for the helical gear. In this form factor, y is the virtual number of the teeth. Y is the form factor based on the virtual number of the teeth. This equation gives the beam strength in the plane of the rotation. Therefore, beam strength SB indicates the maximum value of tangential force that the tooth can transmit without bending failure. It should be always more than the effective force between the meshing tooth. Now, effective load on the gear tooth. Effective load is similar. You can find the effective load as discussed in the spur gear. This is the MT. MT is equal to this, you can get from this formula. PT is equal to 2MT by D, and P effective is equal to CS PT by CB, where CS is the service factor, CB is the velocity factor, and CB is obtained 5.6 plus root V. So now in the dynamic conditions, PD is equal to, as discussed in the spur gear, this is the dynamic load 21 V CE B cos square psi plus PT cos psi, 21 B root under C B cos square psi plus PT. It is given in the data book, so no need to remember this formula. You can consult from the data book for formula, but you should know how can apply the formula. The already all terms had been discussed for the spur gear. Only psi is the extra psi is the helix angle, and P effective, you can get the P effective is equal to CS PT plus PD. For the design, SB should be greater than the P effective, and SB is equal to P effective into factor of safety. So you can get the factor of safety from these relations. Now the wear strength is similar. You can and it is derived similar as derived in the spur gear. SW is equal to BQ dP dash K, and S is equal to S. This one is the wear strength perpendicular to the tooth element. B is equal to already B by cos psi. So dP dash is equal to dP upon cos square psi, and SW is equal to SWN is equal to BQ dP K by cos QN. So SW is equal to SWN cos psi, and SW is equal to BQ dP K cos psi. So you can here Q is equal to 2Z dash G upon Z dash G plus Z dash P, where Zg is equal to Zg upon, this is Zg upon cos Q psi, and Zp dash Zp upon cos Q psi. Q is equal to from above equation Q you can also write in this way. For the internal gear, this formula becomes 2 Zg upon Zg minus Zp. Now k is equal to, that is k factor in this equation is obtained as same which is obtained for the Asperger, but here the alpha n is used instead of alpha pressure angle. Here normal pressure angle is used. This relation is already derived. K is equal to 0.16 Bhn by 100 square. So SW greater than P effective, SW is equal to P effective into FOS. So now the helical gear theory of the helical gear has been finished. In the next video I will upload one questions which is based on the solution of one question based on the helical design of the helical gear. After that I will discuss the bevel gear and worm gear. Thank you for watching and for your patience.